So can you just both first talk about like how you kind of wanted to start this movie and how you kind of found out about our story?
Sure. Emily, do you want to start there?
Sure. Sorry, what was it again?
Just like how you like what made you kind of just want to start this movie up.
Well, I'd been making short films of just with our home movie camera at home, and just lots of little silly projects. And then I'd seen a zombie movie, which I'd never seen one before, when I was 11. It just seemed so silly and fun, and lots of cool gore. And then I thought, well, that's something I would like to do. And so I wrote the feature script for it, not really knowing what I was getting into. I just thought, oh, I've done all these short projects, so this will just be a long one. And but it was quite a project from there.
Yeah. And so myself and my co-directors, Justin and Eric, used to all live in Austin, Texas, which is where Emily lives. Lived there for 10 years, so I was an Austinite. But so we were all just filmmakers living in the town, kind of had our ear to the film scene and saw the casting call that Emily posted for her auditions, which is where she said she was looking for kids, 12 to 15-year-old, for a zombie movie directed by a 12-year-old girl. And just kind of placed a couple phone calls to find out what was up with that, see if they'd maybe be open to us following them around a little bit, and luckily they were. So we followed them for 2 years. Yeah.
That's awesome. So like they were telling on the press conference that said you actually got hold of Peter Jackson and Harry Knowles and you got all this kind of support for the movie. So was it just kind of surprising that you actually got all these people on board for the movie? I mean, like for a 12-year-old making a movie like with really big names behind it, was that just kind of surprising and just awesome for you, or?
Well, the Peter Jackson thing, I mean, I've always been a movie dork, and pretty much since birth. And when Lord of the Rings came out, I'd never seen anything that had influenced me so much as just a movie geek. And so I'd written him a fan letter when I was 8 years old, and he wrote back and saying, "It's great to hear from somebody from my friend Harry's town." So we're trying to figure out who's Harry. And so Harry Knowles is this film critic for Ain't It Cool News, and he lives in Austin, does all these really cool movie events in town, which is great for movie geeks. And so I've been friends with Harry ever since then. We've told him like, hey, we got this letter from Peter Jackson and mentioning you, and so he's been not only to the Austin film community, but also to help me with my films. He has a small role in my zombie film, and so is his sister and his nephew are also also play parts in the film. But yeah, the Harry's support and as well as the Austin film community has really been really great. I didn't realize how many people are involved with making a movie until I did the zombie movie.
So like is are you I know you guys are aiming for distribution for this one as well, but like has there been talk about your film being distributed as well?
I wish. Well, right now we're selling copies of it on my website, and that the money for that helps me make more movies. So I have my little movie fund. So I just finished my second feature off of that. Well, partially off of pathogen sales and other donations and stuff like that.
So like I mean, just in following around for those 2 years, like was it just kind of inspiring to see like someone so young just really that into filmmaking and just that whole process making a feature at such a young age?
Yeah, I mean, completely. It was, that was one of the whole reasons we even wanted to make this movie and follow Emily around because, as filmmakers, like, yeah, we used to, dabble in filmmaking when we were kids, never as young as Emily, but it's like, wow, okay, there's this girl who's doing it when she's 12, and one, it was interesting to us that the technology now exists to even let a kid be able to actually shoot and edit and master a DVD of their film. Right, this wasn't even thinkable 10 years ago or more. But two, just yeah, that kind of she was obviously making it just not because she knew how, but because of the love of filmmaking and the love of movies, and it kind of reminds you of those days when you didn't have to think about distribution and you didn't have to think about signing contracts or release forms or budget or it's just like I'm just gonna make this for the fun of making movies, and so that was really inspirational.
So like can you said you just finished your second film, so will that be is that selling on your website as well? And I mean, are you still just kind of churning out scripts and just making these as you go?
Yeah, the second feature I just finished it last week, so
Just last week.
yeah, it's just fresh off the computer.
Yeah, off the burner.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
off of iDVD. No, but yeah, so right now I'm submitting it to some festivals and just trying to see what I can do with it. And second part of the question.
Just like what kind of actually have you been contacted by like other like young filmmakers like just from kind of the buzz from this and like what have they had to say?
It's really great because my zombie movie, it's an okay movie, but you know it's definitely flawed in a lot of ways. But I've learned so much from it, more than I could have from just reading books or anything else like that. And I love hearing from other filmmakers from anywhere, is just asking, you know, like, oh, how'd you do this and stuff, because I think the most important thing out of it is the lessons learned. And so I love passing on that information. So
We screened Zombie Girl in Toronto at Hot Docs earlier in the year, and they had a special screening just for junior high and high school kids to come out. And what was really cool was to actually see a lot of the junior high kids. They were excited. Like one kid just like, how did that green screen work? How did you remove that kid's head, you know, in the scene? What was the blood, you know, like that kind of stuff. And I think those are the kind of questions that Emily gets to. And so, you know, other kids who have the same interest or passion can kind of be inspired by what she was doing.
So for this film itself, like, are you still taking this on the festival circuit then? And what kind of other plans do you have for this?
Yeah, right now it's on the festival circuit. You know, we've been showing it for a few months now, and there's going to be some more screenings coming up throughout the rest of the year. We're hoping to get it in a wider release, hopefully next year, is the plan. If we can get it out on DVD, perhaps broadcast, you know, television, something like that. And you know, we're trying to get it out there. Right now, the only way to see it is at festivals, so people just kind of have to go to our website and track where it's coming. It's going to be playing at a lot of places around the country, so it may very well be near where someone would be.
I mean, like I have a friend that did a indie herself, or she was a DP on an indie, and it's just the market, and it's been winning like awards left and right, but no one's been picking it up yet. So, I mean, like, just in the climate like this, and like with this kind of movie getting all this buzz, like, do you think this is really kind of the way to go instead of the studio system, or just trying to get it out there on your own and just trying to get people to see it instead of trying to go through the studio?
I mean, it depends. I mean, I have nothing wrong with the studio system. I think that this movie was not a studio film, so therefore it's not in the studio system, you know, and it's an independent film, and so we're going this route through festivals and stuff like that, you know. But for studio films, they do a very good job of getting their movies out there. As you can see at Comic-Con, I mean, they have some marketing potential, and so there's no 40-foot Zombie Girl banners hanging at Comic-Con, you know, but yet one day there will be. So yeah, I just think each movie probably just needs its own, you know, approach, its own style.
So can you talk a little bit about, with, like you said, you had your second feature, but can you talk about, do you have anything else in the works, any other new documentary or other features?
Yeah, I have a couple features that are kind of in the works. I'm not documentary this time. It's going into the fictional filmmaking. I've got a comedy that I've written that I'm working on, trying to put together financing for, to hopefully get into production next year. Also have a couple other scripts, one of them being a horror script. It was Emily provided me with a little inspiration, you know, so following her making a horror film for a couple of years kind of got me thinking, oh, you know, I could maybe do some horror stuff, and so I have one of those as well. So, yeah.
Any possible collaborations between the two of you?
I don't know, Emily. Yeah, we haven't really talked about that, but that could be a possibility, I suppose, one day. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we haven't talked about it,
No.
honestly.
Yeah. We'll have to have our lawyers get in touch with each other.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. So finally, just what would you like to say, just to anyone out there who kind of has the passion for filmmaking like this, just about what to do maybe, or just to get out there and make their film? Like, what would you like to say to like young filmmakers that are trying to just get their films out there?
Emily, I mean, you're a young filmmaker.
You know, definitely aim high, and don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. And also persevere, and just, you know, you're gonna have, nothing's gonna work out the way that you planned it to from the beginning, but you're gonna end up with something, and it might even be better than you imagined. So just persevere and get through the tough stuff, because it's inevitable, but it's worth it.
Just do it, you know. That's just if you want to make a movie, make a movie, you know. And I think that especially if you're a kid, you know, it's all about learning, and so it doesn't have to be perfect the first time. That's right. You can do it. You can make the mistakes. So then one day it will be perfect.
And will there be any chance of we seeing you here next year with some of the other features?
I don't know. Yeah, I just finished this new one, so I'm just, you know, have my fingers crossed and just seeing. Hopefully, it'll go somewhere.
And what is the website that we can pick your film up on?
It's called cheesynuggets.com. Just spelled exactly how it sounds. Just cheesy, the SY and nuggets. I always get laughs when I say it. So when people ask me, I have to like, okay, get ready. But yeah.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right.